Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. It's good to be with you. I look forward to seeing your comments, and I hope that you'll take time to read one another's as well. Today, I would like to talk about arks. Yes, it did rain hard here in Western Pennsylvania this morning, and maybe that made you think about Noah's Ark, but that's not what I'm talking about today. For you see, the word ark really has nothing to do with boats at all. An ark is a place of shelter and protection. So we describe Noah's Ark not because it's a boat that was in the water, but because Noah's Ark was a place of protection and safety for him, for his family, and for all the animals, of course, who were in the ark with him. Now we can get a sense of what the word ark means when we remember there's another place in the Bible that also uses the word ark that's relatively well known. We talk about the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was a wooden box roughly the size of our church's communion table, and in it were the stone tablets that had the Ten Commandments, Aaron's staff, and a jar of manna that God had provided for the Israelites during their time in the wilderness. It was called an ark because it protected these testaments toward God's authority and his care for his people. By the way, there's two other places we find the word ark in the Bible. It's used to describe the sarcophagus that Joseph's mummy was put into as he was carried to the promised land. And it's also used to describe the strong box where they put the money when Joash was repairing the temple after it had fallen into disrepair. So in each case, an ark is a place of protection and safety. Safety from destruction of the flood, safety for precious relics, safety for a dead body, safety for money. In our situation today, our homes are miniature arks for each of us. They're a place of safety and protection for us from the coronavirus. They protect us from being infected, but they also protect others from us if we happen to be infected and don't realize it that way. So I invite you to consider your home and consider the restrictions that are now in place to keep us in our homes. I invite you to consider them as arks, places of protection and safety, rather than places of confinement that keep us from moving about freely. There's an odd little passage in the second chapter of 1 Peter. It's about 5 verses long, and in just those 5 verses, it will make your head spin as it brings together all sorts of topics. Among other things, it connects Noah's Ark to our baptism. Let me read it for you. In it, that is, in Noah's Ark, only a few people, 8 in all, so that'll be Noah, his wife, his 3 children, his 3 sons, and their 3 wives. In it, 8 in all were saved through water. And this water symbolizes baptism that now saves you also. Not the removal of dirt from the body, but the pledge of a clear conscience toward God. It saves you by the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who has gone into heaven and is at God's right hand, with angels, authorities, and powers in submission to him. Noah's Ark saved his family, himself, his wife, his 3 sons and daughters-in-law. It saved them through the water. But there is water that saves us as well. It is the water of baptism. Baptism washes away sin, and baptism unites us with Christ in his resurrection which we'll be celebrating in a couple of weeks. The power of the resurrection is at work in us. The power of the one who is now enthroned in heaven, the one, Jesus Christ, who has authority over heaven and earth and everything in them, including, by the way, power and authority over the coronavirus. Jesus Christ is now our ark. He is our place of protection and safety. So yes, take advantage of the protection that we have by remaining at home during this pandemic. But remember and celebrate also the security and the salvation that we find in Jesus Christ. We will face struggles, trials, suffering, but as we do, we are always in his care, and he will lead us home. Thanks for joining us. I look forward to reading your comments. Remember, worship tomorrow will begin at 10 o'clock Eastern. I hope you'll join us then. Bye-bye.